AI is rapidly reshaping the workplace, but many businesses still have little visibility into what tools employees are actually using or where sensitive data is now going. So, as adoption races ahead, a business is actually prepared for the risks that we're seeing. We're joined by Beth Tschida, CEO of Jamf. Great to see you on Ticker, Beth. Obviously, this is becoming a huge issue for a lot of businesses.
Yes, it is, and you can't govern what you can't see. So it's very important for you to make sure you understand what is running on your fleet and how AI is affecting your organization.
We're hearing this term now, shadow AI, as well. Talk to us about what it is and how an innocent prompt can turn into a disaster.
Yeah, well, about 98% of organizations say there's some level of shadow AI going on in their organization. So even if you say you shouldn't use it, the reality is it is being used. So what that means is it's hard to tell how it's being used, what data sets you have access to, whether it's getting to company data that you might not want it to have, what it has access to, and that's what shadow AI is all about.
And it's not just AI. I mean, talk to us about the issue, I guess, of employees who are using AI tools or IT tools that IT teams within the organizations cannot see. It used to be, don't bring personal devices on company Wi-Fi. Now we've got the added complexity of people working from home and using their own different AI accounts. It's a minefield.
Exactly, because you can use your own personal account and maybe potentially put customer data into that or your company data into that. So when you say no to AI, it makes it hard to actually stop it. It's better if you can say, yes, here's the approved tools and here are the boundaries we're going to put around it to make sure that you can use it safely and not put any of the company data or other access controls that you might not want in place for that.
And one of the other interesting things as well, Beth, is this debate we're having at the moment between keeping an eye on how employees are using AI, but also not falling into the trap of being accused of surveillance on the employees, because that's becoming a big topic, particularly, as I say, as people are working from home. How do you think this can best be done?
I think it's not so much what they're putting in for their prompts. That would be surveillance. What is it that you're using it? How we want you to use the job, and we want you to use the tools that make you more productive in your role. This is more around when you're using that tool, what does it have access to? You may not want it to have access to some of your sensitive keys or your sensitive company data. So allow employees to use it to be more productive in their role, but make sure that the tools they're using are safeguarded so that you don't get into other areas of company data that you don't want them in.
Yes, and those keys are actually quite important, aren't they? I mean, we talk about it, and thankfully AI quite often tells you, you've just given me a key, you should never please reset, but not in all cases will people take notice. Talk to us about, I guess, what happens then, Beth, if unapproved AI use is used? Who is held accountable? Who's responsible for it? Is it the business? Is it the person? Is it your former role, CTO?
It's certainly a team sport, I think. Everyone has a concern about it, whether it's the CISO or the CTO. And oftentimes employees, they may be trying their best to follow what the best practices are, but if you don't know how those tools are configured or what data might be written to or being used in the background, you might be accessing data that your company policy doesn't allow, but you haven't yet set the control plane to make sure that they can't get to it. So it's really important to set that as part of the company policy.
And what is really challenging here is that businesses, everything is running at different speeds, right? So what we do know is a lot of large corporations have boards now putting pressure on leadership to say, you need your team using AI because it is pushing up share prices for our competitors. We need to be using it as well. Then you have the kind of racehorse and the donkey types within the workplace where some are saying, I could be really good at this and I found this tool that pushes me ahead of my colleagues, I'm going to use this. And so good intentions can obviously end up quite badly as well. How can businesses find the right balance to not block AI use, but to use it responsibly and to get everyone running those different races to try and run the same race?
Right, it is about how to use AI to improve for your company's performance, for employees' performance, and it is here. So it is about being able to say yes means you need to know what is running and how you're going to set it up to make sure that those guardrails are in place. So there is a way to say yes, to understand, first of all, what is running in your fleet, because even if you've said no, people might be using devices in ways or connecting to things you don't understand. And then starting with a very simple policy. What are the models? What are the guardrails that are best to make sure that employees are not touching the part of company assets that you want to keep secure and private, like you've done with the rest of your software. It's just another type now, but ones that needs to be viewed from just the endpoint as well to know exactly what's going on the device.
We've got about a minute left. Talk to us about what you think Australian businesses should now be doing before compliance catches up.
Compliance will come, whether you have regulatory demands on you, your board, your customers, you need to know so that you can respond. And I'm sure regulations will come of all sizes.
We've got royal commissions into it.
Yes.
We've got Victoria launching an AI minister.
Right, and then if you're doing any business, you have the EU AI Act, and every country is going to have their flavor of it. But what they're trying to get at is, can you confirm what's happening with your customer data, who has access to it, how it's being used, potentially transformed or moved to different places that shouldn't be. Similar to what we've done in software in the past, but now has to be put in terms of the AI guardrails. So creating that policy and then making sure that you're able to demonstrate proof of what's actually happening on those endpoint devices, that's what we should be looking at now so that we're prepared for those regulatory
There's always
controls.
something new. Beth, how can people get in touch?
If you want to learn more what we're doing, and we are really helping customers with this, www.jamf.com.
Beth Tschida, thank you so much for joining us at
Thanks
Ticker
so
today.
much. Appreciate you having me.